Okay, so we had several different choices on how we could basically introduce ourselves to our teacher, and she gave us the choice of doing like a collage, of to tell a story, just different things about our life that we wanted to tell her about, or whoever was watching the video. So I figured instead of using pictures, because there was no way that pictures could have described how I felt after what had happened to me, I just had to tell the story instead. And so on February 8th, 2013, me and my best friend were going to mom's instead of going to our last junior high formal. We could have been getting ready for that. Instead, we were taking selfies in front of my new countdown camera on my phone. So whenever we left to go to mom's, we had hung out for a little bit, just kind of talked and hung out with my sister and my mom. And then my dad called my mom and asked her to step outside because he had to talk to her. I just figured it was just going to be, something he did. I don't know. I just really didn't know what it was. I knew it was something worse than just a stupid little argument, because she never would have had to leave the room for that. So she goes outside and she started screaming and crying and was telling him to hold on a second, breathe, because she couldn't understand what he was saying. um, she said that she couldn't have told us, so she wanted him to tell us. So she came back inside, and by that time, I was freaking out because I don't like seeing my mom cry at all. And so I was crying too. And then that got my sister crying and my best friend crying. And so whenever she came back inside, she put the phone on speaker. And my dad had said that my Uncle CJ died. I didn't know how. I never would have expected suicide to have been that answer. He was always the happiest person I knew. He always had a smile on his face. I don't even think he knew what a frown was, honestly. But I remember just falling down on my knees and holding my heart, because I could not believe what had just happened. So immediately we got in the car. We didn't even pack our stuff up. Immediately we got in the car and headed to my grandma's house. And the first person, I don't even remember the car ride on the way there, honestly. I remember like the first 5 minutes, and then the rest of that was a blur. I remember getting there and running straight to my dad, and then I ran to my papa. That's my best friend too, and the pain that my heart felt for them was unreal. So I ran to him, and then I heard my grandma crying, and I felt like we were all going to die with a broken heart, honestly. And so after that, I remember not even being able to make eye contact with whoever was in the room. There was so many people. It was unreal. So many people coming to give their love and prayers to us and to everyone else, and just to have just a safe place to go that everybody could talk. I don't remember the rest of the time being there at my grandma's house. It was all just pretty much a blur. Everybody was crying. I do remember that. The funeral was the second hardest thing that I've ever been through. The first being that he died. At this point, still, I did not know how it had happened. I'm not sure if anybody did. I don't know if they just didn't want to tell us, or if they didn't know either. I don't know. But I just knew that I had lost one of the most important men in my life. And I was sort of angry because there was no thought in my head that he had shot himself at all. He was always the happiest person. I was thinking, how could somebody have done this to such a devout father, uncle, brother, best friend, soldier, Christian? It just made me angry. So I remember the funeral, and the song that plays when a soldier is having his funeral, or her funeral. I mean, the song that plays and the gunshots that go off are something you will never forget. It is imprinted in my head for forever. But after that, everything I do revolves around wanting to help somebody else. That way they know that they're not alone, and just basically to know that they are loved, and that there will never, ever be anything else that somebody would want more than to have them with them on this earth. I mean, the pain in my heart is just unreal. But also, I have a love for everybody else, wanting to make sure that there is someone there all the time to talk to them, and that, I mean, they're never alone. It's crazy how much it's changed my life, honestly, and in more bad ways than good. But the only good thing that I got out of this is that I hope, out of everything, if I could just help one person know that there's always somebody or something there to help comfort them, then I feel like I have had I have fulfilled my purpose down here, and that out of everything on this entire earth has changed my life more than anything.